So I bet that video caught you off guard. You're probably distraught, worried, concerned. You don't know where any of this is heading anymore. And I'm just warning now, it's a CGI, it was a natural train wreck. But all those thoughts, that train wreck itself is exactly how I felt freshman year and my sophomore year this year. Even though freshman year I believed everything to be going well, but it really was not. So this is I'm Angela. This is my mini sophomore defense. So basically, I'm presenting for collaborator, which is critique personal strengths and areas of growth and evaluate impact of individuals or collective actions of outcomes from my freshman year to this year, sophomore year. So my obstacle, what I did not do well, it was this 2.17 transfer patient plan project from my freshman year. So basically, there was uneven collaboration. There was sometimes there's too little information. There was absolutely no talk between me and my partner who worked on it. And if I head over here and if I go through it, it seems like there's enough, right? Based on the rubric, shouldn't be a lot of words. To these, there was no collaboration, and even though I go to the history, you can see that I did most of it, and though my partner did um, work, we just kind of split up the slides. Like we didn't talk to each other. We didn't know what we were gonna each do. So um, whenever there was something that one of us didn't like, we kind of just deleted it and rewrote it. We didn't tell the other person that we didn't like it. We didn't talk about anything at all. There was zero talk and there was too little information. Um, but up to now, right? My growth. So I used this error in communication project from this year. Was last semester's. So basically, it was a shared collaboration. There was some good information. There was definitely communication. And if I go over to it, right, me and my partner, we also had to make like this consultation video where we had to write a script and we actually talked about it. And throughout it, you can see that there's some really good information, even though it's a lot of words. It kind of went scripted because we didn't really present the entire thing. We just presented small parts of it. And if I go here, here, right, you can see that there was collaboration on both hands. This day, the reason I'm not on there because this one I had a field trip and then this day I was absent because I got sick. But throughout the entire thing, right, we didn't just split up the slides, but we did talk about what we were going to do on each slide, and we discussed it, like what information, and we talked about it with each other in case we needed to present. So we talked about it, we discussed it, and we ended up getting our resources. We presented and we presented it. It was great. So that's yeah, my growth. And essentially, so when I was to grow in the collaboration, so my plan to kind of continue growing in collaboration, in like the collaboration GSP, would be to take part more in projects. So in biomed, we do a lot of like collaborative group projects. There's projects going on now even. So what I plan on doing is just doing a lot more research and doing a lot more communication with my table mates, just in general. And then I'm already in a few clubs, but I plan on joining more next year. Anymore because I'm in an animation club. In this club, we do animated projects. Sometimes they're group projects too, where you have to kind of collab and make an animation on on anything really, but it's just a club. It's not like for a grade or anything. So for my future, so I plan on being a psychologist, and to be a psychologist, I kind of need a PhD or a master's degree. So so I've got 2 more years of high school. Next year, I plan on taking a regular psychology class, and then my senior year, I plan on taking a P psychology class. For a lot of it, it's a lot of presentations. It's a lot of group projects too, because as a psychologist, you kind of have to work with. You have to be one with your client, and then I'll probably need around 9 years of colleges after that. And And then in order to even get a PhD, you kind of need a master's degree. So I have to go down that route, 9 years of college. And my connection, right? So to be a psychologist, really, what they do a lot of like collaboration with their patients because you have to be understanding, you have to know what they're talking about. You have uh, you have you have to work with them basically to help them solve a conflict. Because a lot of them it'll be like a therapist where you're trying to solve their problems. You can't be a psychologist, listen to someone, listen to a client, right, with issues, and then not care. You can't be uncompassionate. You can't inappropriately respond to a client while they're speaking of their problems. Maybe if they're like venting out, obviously because it's your job to listen to them. You can't be like whatever, right? They don't really matter. You can't just be there, show up. You actually have to work with them. You have to understand what their problem is. So you, because as a psychologist, you have to like prescribe them certain medications if they have like certain illness like anxiety or ADHD, and you have to be aware of that. And you have to actually listen to them thoroughly and understand them. You can't just throw things out there. And for my ending, becoming is better than being. This quote, I just chose it because it's like being stuck in one place, that's not going to help you out. So as I grow some of the things like the projects I've already made, animation projects that I've already made, to achieve better collaboration, I've been taking it upon myself to talk a lot more to people, not necessarily being social, but in like projects when I have to communicate, when I have to work with somebody for a project, I have to be better than I already am. Thank you for listening. That was my GSP project.